Okay, let's start with the coding for the task 1 and we move into the programming section now. There we have, this is our VB, and I have already coded it in order to save the time that is consumed on typing the, the entire word. So I have already solved it. Now starting with the submain, the first thing in the solution is that we will check how many items are gathered in the auction house. And the first thing is we declare a variable as items, and then we write enter the number of items, and minimum is mentioned as 10. Now the input is collected as items is equal to console.readline. So you will enter that I have 14 items. There is an if condition. If items is less than 10, then it will drop a line, and then in the second line it writes error. Items must be minimum 10. Please re-enter console.writeLine, and it takes you back to the this line that is do. Loop while items less than 3. I have intentionally it technically it should be 10 over here, but in order to reduce the input during our lesson, I have made it 3 so I can enter 3 and the program will continue. In the exams point of view, this 3 should be 10. Now we have given 12 as input. It will not give an error and it will move on. And next we see dim item number as items. That declares an array. That array will store the item numbers, and the length of the array will be items. If there is your input as 12, then the item numbers will also be 12. Now the description is required. There will be 12 descriptions. The reserve prices are required. Those will also be 12. And the number of bids will also be required as 12 for 12 items. So all these four arrays are given the size of items. And this items value come from your input on this location. Let us suppose we gave the input of 12 as items, so all those four arrays have the length of 12. Now going on, once you have informed how many items, it will clear the screen because there is a code console.clear. The screen will be erased and a new screen will start with the first line as console.writeLine. Enter auction details for the said items. Okay, there is a loop. It starts with the for and it returns back with this next. And in this loop, the two lines go black, and then it gives the value into item number as count. Your count starts with 1 and your count ends with 12. It means you will not input the product number. The product number is automatically assigned based on the value of count. The first item in this line will be always 1, the second item will be 2, and similarly the last item will be 12. All items will be auto assigned with their item number, and it will also mention item number auto generated is equal to, for the first time it will show 1. Then it says enter the description of the item, and the description will be input by you and it will be stored in description 1. And in the third point, it will say enter the reserve price for the item. That means the minimum price that you would like to sell your product, and it will be stored in this reserve PR. And the fourth one is number of bids. We give 0 to all the items on the start of the auction day, and it will say number of bids are auto set to 0. This loop will repeat this code for 12 times, and the operator is bound to provide all the specifications for all number of items. When this activity is completed, then it comes to the next section where it says console.writeLine data recording is completed successfully. It mentions you that all the input has been saved, and when you are finished with this section, then it starts with the next activity. It says press any key to proceed, and when you press a key, it clears the screen again. Once the screen is cleared, then it says for m is equal to 1 2 items. This is a loop that will print you the summary of your inputs. Console.writeLine item number, it will show 1. The description, it will show a bicycle, and number of bits, it will show as 0. If you want to place a space between them, we give a space in this dividing line, and here it comes. This is the dividing space. We will check it, and this loop will continue for 12 times again, and the details of the 12 products are on display now. And finally it will say console.writeLine the list displayed. Yeah, it is better to say as list of all items is displayed. This will be the final message, and it is the end of your solution for the task 1. I give a space over here, and next will be discussed later. But so far, the number of lines we have gone through, this is your task 1. Let's check the result. I click on the play button, and we share this result screen. Here it is. You can see on the screen it says enter the number of items, and it also mentions that the minimum of items should be 10. Suppose I enter, I have 4 items, it will say it has accepted because we have not mentioned over there 10. Let me restart this code, and we will give 2, and it will give an error. Here we share the VB first, then we play it, and now we share the result screen. Again we have the result screen, and it says enter number of items. It says minimum of 10, but as I mentioned, we have coded 3 as minimum. So let's input 2, and it will give you an error. Here is the error. It says the items must be minimum 10. Please re-enter, or there should be a message the auction must be rescheduled for the next week, or whatever the statement you like. You can change the statement that is coming in front of error. It's again ask, I say 3 items, and now it has accepted 3 because it is not less than 3. And it says enter auction details for the said items. The item number auto generated for this product is equal to 1. Enter description, and here I say sports cycle, and its name and model is given. Slightly used. This is the description, and when you are done with the description, enter, and it will ask you what is your reserve price. I mentioned 20 as the reserve price, and it will accept it. It also says the number of bids for this items is auto set to 0. And now you are with the item number 2. Give its description, and we say school bag, and its brand is given. and now it asks for its reserve price, and you give $5 as its reserve price. Its number of bids is also set to 0. And now we move to the last item, that is item number 3, and it asks you enter description, and we say it is a novel. What is its price? Its price is 5, and then you enter, and now it says data recording is completed successfully. You mentioned 3 products, and the input for the 3 products is completed on this screen. Now press any key. Here we press the next key, and on this is the display that is shown on the hall number of auction house where people have gathered to buy. You can see there is one, there is that dividing line, and it says the product number 1 is sports cycle, and the 0 means it has 0 bids. Then number 2, school bag, 0 bids. Then number 3, the novel, the 0 bids. And it says list of all items is displayed. This completes the task 1, and then it goes to start the task number 2, which we will not discuss in our today's lesson. We fixed our today's lesson for the task 1, and that is all now complete. You can see on the screen it collected the inputs, it organized them, and it showed them on that interactive screen. Interactive has some different meanings, but for our console dot programming, which assume that this is the display that is showing on the auction hall. Now let's finally come back to the question paper. We share it again, and we read it and make clear if we have done all. The task number 1 asked us for every item in the auction, the item number, the description, the reserve price should be recorded. Yes, it is recorded. The number of bids is set to 0. Yes, we have done it. And there must be at least 10 items in the auction. It is also fixed. That means we have successfully completed the task 1. This is all for you today. Now it is your duty to understand this lecture and concentrate on the solution. I will share it on the YouTube where you can repeat this lecture as many times you like. And the last statement, please submit your previous worksheets. This is very bad that you people promise and but you don't act on your promises. I hope you will take it more seriously to solve your worksheets. I will be back for the question answers in 5 minutes. Till then, wait for me.